Right now, we're on the foredeck of the classic cruise ship, the Aurora. I started this YouTube channel just over 5 months ago with just the idea of telling my amazing story about how I found a nearly abandoned, derelict, classic, historic cruise ship on Craigslist with the idea of returning her to her former glory on a budget. Can we pull it off? Join me and my dedicated crew in a once-in-a-lifetime journey to resurrect one of the most historic cruise ships in modern history. But before we jump in, thank you Keeps for sponsoring this video. Yes folks, it's a fact. 2 out of 3 guys will experience male pattern baldness by their mid-30s. But now you can do something about it. Keeps is a subscription service that allows you to keep your hair before you lose it, with treatments that you can do right from the comfort of your own home. Keeps will get you a licensed doctor to review your information online and recommend the right hair loss treatment plan for you. Then your treatment plan is sent to you every 3 months. This is the more affordable option, as Keeps provides the generic versions of FDA-approved hair loss medications. There's nothing wrong with keeping the hair that you have. It takes 4 to 6 months to see results, so the sooner you get started, the better. Go to keeps.com/Aurora to get 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/Aurora, or follow the link in the description below and get 50% off your first order. Now let's get back to our video. We're continuing the work on the foredeck today, and I have a lot of work to do. It looks like I'm going to be the one that's cutting out all of the patches. We have about 18 holes up there that I counted. My job is to cut out the holes with the plasma cutter, and we're going to take them forward and go ahead and weld them on. The welder of choice today is going to be a stick welder. I feel a little bit more comfortable with the stick welder than I do a MIG welder. I think I do a lot better of a job on actually making those patches watertight with the stick welder. So I'm gonna hook up the plasma cutter and we're gonna start cutting away.
This happens every time. I come back to this bow in between my painting segments and I have to wash it because it gets so dirty. There's blueberry fields over here on the starboard side and the wind just picks up all that dirt and puts it right here in my spot. So I'm gonna take this fire hose, I'm gonna wash it again, and I'm gonna get back to painting. This is turning out really good so far. It's all cut in on the deck. Now I'm getting the big fat roller out. I'm gonna finish it up in no time flat, and it's looking really good already. I'm using a 2-part marine epoxy. It'll it'll stick really well. I want to put it on pretty thick.
We're taking these old vent fans off just because they're old. They don't work anymore. We have new ones going on. We got to get all this broke loose, figure out what's still holding it. Looks like just rust. A few more hammer shots. Everybody clear?
What do you think that thing weighs?
About 300. There we go. Oh yeah. Big freaking motor in there. Shovel, thank you. There's a lot of rust still in there. So as you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. We don't feel too bad about getting rid of it. Feel it was put on in the 70s, maybe mid 70s. It has a Canadian Westinghouse sticker on it. So I don't think that came from Germany in the mid 1950s.
So this is the anchor windlass. This is the machine that actually lowers and raises the anchors. We already started on this project, but we have a long way to go before we can actually call it complete. So we took a few hours, we put all hands on deck just to prep this monster. We had sanding, scraping, needle gunning, power washing, all of that before we could even think about applying paint. After it finally looks pretty, we still have so many tasks to do. We have to replace the grease fittings, check the oil, the brake pads. Restoring this anchor windlass is just one of the projects that we have on the slate for today.
I'm just finishing up with the last bit of rolling here for this portion of the deck. I'm just dripping sweat everywhere. It's hot, so I'm happy to be done and take a break.
Well, this sucks. Actually, this stuff looks brand new. It looks like it's been replaced fairly recently. Chris has probably been on this.
I really like this color of paint. This is international blue. We actually started painting this windlass with marine blue, but after using this stuff for a little while, I kind of like it. It feels like a higher quality of paint. It's a little shinier. It has UV protection in it, so it'll last quite a bit longer. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do this entire windlass in this color of paint and maybe accent it with a little bit of this kind of blue.
This is my new project. This is the hold on the ship, and they basically used this opening to bring larger stuff in that they couldn't fit through the doorways. And I'm a little torn on it because this has a similar shape and patina that they'll try to go for these vintage 50s trucks, but we're not going for that look. We're going back to brand new. So we're gonna be sanding this down, getting all the rust off, and repainting it back like new again. These portholes will have to come out, and these bars protecting the portholes, we're gonna refab and make them look brand new again, and we're gonna repaint it, and it'll be done, and it's gonna look like the rest of the ship. Clearly, people have added stuff to this ship along the way through the years. This, I don't even know what this was, but obviously they've added it for some reason and cut some kind of weird hole in it with some kind of torch. We already cut this piece of metal off. This was a dryer vent going back to the cruse bathroom below, which we don't need anymore, and it just makes it look ugly. We're going to take all of the ugly off of this, and we're going to clean it up, and we're going to paint it, and it's going to look like new again. It's going to be awesome. Let's get to work.
This is the deck we started working on recently. It was totally covered in old deck plank, and it was rotted to a point where you could pick it up and just crumble it in your hands. It was nasty. We found about 10 holes in this deck. Today we're going to be grinding around these holes and putting patches on. The metal actually still looks pretty good, so we're going to be okay. And when we're finished, we're going to go ahead and prime this up and get it ready to paint with the rest of the deck. So if you're enjoying this channel, please do us a favor and like and subscribe. It really helps this project out.